Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. As you coming in, put the hands together. So give God a little praise on this wonderful second Sunday in the month of February, the year of our Lord 2023. Ain't that a blessing? Come on in, put the hands together. Bring you greetings from the Empowering Temple of Praise Church, being constructed at 3615 Reed Street in the heart of Fort Worth, Texas, a.k.a. Funky Town. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks for your seeds, your tithes, and offering. It is helping us get to where we need to be in our new sanctuary. Keep sending them, keep sending them, keep sending them. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. But put your hands together. Let's get into this word. Another wonderful word on this morning that God has in store for you. Come on, put your hands together. Here we go. Oh, living, he loved me. Dying, he saved me. Buried, he carried my sins far away. Rising, he justified me, freed me forever. One day he's coming back, glorious day. Oh, living, he loved me. Dying, he saved me. Buried, he carried my sins far away. Rising, he justified me, freed me forever. One day he's coming back, glorious day. Come on. Living, he loved me. Dying, he saved me. Buried, he carried my sins far away. Rising, he justified, freed me forever. One day he's coming back, glorious day. Oh, send it on down. Send it on down. Lord, let your Holy Ghost come on down. Send it on down. Send it on down. Lord, let your Holy Ghost come on down. Oh, send it on down. Send it on down. Lord, let your Holy Ghost come on. Oh, send it on down. Send it on down. Lord, let your Holy Ghost come on. Woo! Power, 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 power. Come on, put them hands together. Looking forward to getting back in that new sanctuary and giving God praise with the rest of you. I know you miss it as well, don't you? Oh, yeah. Looking forward to that glorious day. All right. Yes. There is a word from the Lord. There is a word from the Lord in the Second Samuel, book of 2 Samuel, chapter 6, verse 8 through verse 16. Yes, be reading from the BSV version. Come on in. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your loved ones. Yes, whether you're watching live or on the recorded version, yeah, we give God all the praise, and we pray that this message is a blessing unto you. Here it is, 2 Samuel chapter 6, verses 8 through 16. Here is what is recorded. David was angry because the Lord's great anger had broken out against Uzzah. That's why the place, even to this day, is still called Perez Uzzah. David was afraid of the Lord that day and mad at God. So he asked God, how can the ark of the Lord ever be brought to me? He didn't want to take the ark of the Lord. He didn't want to take the blessing of the Lord. He didn't want to take the covenant of the Lord to be with him to his home in the city of David. So instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom was from Gath. The ark of the Lord, the blessing of the Lord, the covenant of the Lord remained in Obed-Edom's house for 3 months. And the Lord blessed him. And the Lord blessed his whole family. And the Lord blessed all of his things surrounding him. Verse 12, King David was told, you know what? The Lord has blessed the family of Obed-Edom. He's also blessed everything that belongs to him. That's because the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of God, the blessings of the Lord is in Obed-Edom's house. So David found that news and went down there to bring the ark back to where he was. With great joy, he brought it up from the house of Obed-Edom and took it to the city of David. Verse 13, those carrying the ark of the Lord took 6 steps forward. That's another sermon right there. Then David sacrificed a bull and a fattened calf. Verse 14, David was wearing a sacred linen apron. He danced in front of the Lord with all his might. He did it while he was bringing in and bringing up the ark of the Lord. The whole community, the whole family of Israel helped him bring it up, and they shouted. They blew trumpets. Verse 16 reads, the ark of the Lord was brought unto the city of David, but Saul's daughter, Michal, was watching from a window. She saw King David rejoicing, leaping, and dancing and shouting in front of the Lord. And that made her hate him in her heart. How to handle hell at home. Oh my goodness. How to handle hell at home. That just reading the end of that kind of sent something through me. How to handle hell at home. Matter of fact, when I was looking at this, I was reminded of back in 1995, May the 5th. Some of you may know of that day. I remember it like yesterday because it was one day prior to First Lady and I's marriage. Back in 1995, May 5th, one day we got married on May 6th, and May the 5th, hail, a ferocious hailstorm came through the Fort Worth area and tore up everything in its path. It tore up car lots, car windows, homes, trucks. I mean, everything in its path, because the hail was so large, like softball, that it came tumbling down like, rocks, and it just destroyed everything. Just look it up if you wasn't around at that time or wasn't aware or wasn't in the area of Fort Worth in May 5th, 1995. It destroyed everything in its path. You know what that hail didn't care about? That hail, H-A-I-L, did not care if you were black or white. Hell didn't care if you were tall or short. Hell didn't care if you had money or you were broke. Hell didn't care if you were healthy or sick. The hell destroyed everything in its path. And that's a day of remembrance, right? Because I'll never forget that hail that came through that day. But you know what it didn't do? That hail didn't stop us from going forward and doing what we realized we needed to do under God's ordinance on the next day. Hail came on that day, that Friday, but we still got married on that Saturday. Hail came and destroyed almost everything, cars, windows, and vehicles, and homes, but we still moved forward even though the hail had come the previous day. You know what? I don't want to talk about the H-A-I-L. I really want to talk about the H-E-L-L, because that same hell don't care about you being rich or poor, you being tall or short, you being fat or slim. It doesn't care if you're white or black. The hell will hit your home. Can't nobody watching or even on the recorded version say, you know what? I'm going to put a sign up in front of my house, Bishop. It's going to say, no hell here. Because if you do, you're lying. Why is that, Bishop? Glad you asked. You're lying because everybody has hell at one time or another in their home. Oh, man, I'm trying to help somebody. You watching today, I promise you, if hell ain't hit your home, keep staying in it. Hell gonna hit it. It might come through your spouse. It may come through your children. You say it may not come through your children. It may come through things in the house. You may have a disagreement on something that brings hell in the house. But one way or another, hell gonna hit everybody in its path. Yes. I can tell you right now, I can't even put a sign in front of my yard. Bishop, no, you can't put that sign either. No, I cannot put a sign up in front of my yard that's saying no hell here, because everybody, no matter who you are, gonna catch hell. And sometimes you catch hell from other people, right? Even unpaid bills can cause hell. You get so distraught because you look get the mail, you thinking you're expecting something positive, and you look in the envelope is changed. The envelope color is no longer white, it's green or red or pink or orange, and you know that's no good, right? Because the envelopes, when they are colored, usually that means it's bad, it's negative, it's not good. And so you be like, oh man, here go hell. What's wrong? Your attitude change, your demeanor change. Why? Because even unpaid bills can cause hell in your life. And as I was looking at this passage of scripture reminded me that, our home is supposed to be a home. A house and home are two different things. It's a lot of folk live in houses, but do they really have a home? See, a home is made up of, number one, God, a husband and wife, at a minimum. And you can add kids, don't mean that you have to have them, but that's what a home is. You got God that's guiding a husband and wife in a house, and that means it's a home. You have a husband and wife being guided by God in a house, that's called a home. Other than that, you just live in a house. Matter of fact, even if you live in an apartment and you are married and God is guiding you, that's your home, right? You don't have to be actually a house and 2-bedroom, 3-bed. You separated from other people. No, you can live in an apartment being guided by God, husband and wife, and that's your home. But hell, no matter what your status is, it can come in your apartment, your trailer park, or even your big 5-8-bedroom house. If you are not careful, hell will destroy your home. And it's supposed to be a place where there's comfort and there's enjoyment and there's fellowship, place where you can go and relax, and place where you can go and be confident. You get off work, the first thing you want, where you going? Oh, child, I'm going home. It's supposed to be a place of relaxation and comfort, right? But there are times when hell has hit the home, you at work, and folk like, hey, you get off right now. Yeah, but I don't even want to go home. Why? I can answer that, because they going to hell. Yeah. Some folks would rather stay at work than go home because hell is at home. You know what? I have so much joy working and slaving over this job than going home because there's hell at home. And it's sad when folks would rather stay at work and work 12 hours and 14 hours than go to their house because they recognize and they discovered there's hell at home. Oh, man, I know you think, Bishop, but the sermon title say how to handle it. I got you. We're going to get there. I'm just telling you the different types of hell that we have at our home in this day and time. The text message, as you look at it, you go to the word. This text message in 2 Samuel chapter 6, you look at verse 8, it says that David, watch this, was mad at God for striking down Uzzah. See, I promise you, we all have an attitude sometimes depending on what we think God did or didn't do, or what he allowed, what he didn't allow. When things happen and that we disagree with, a lot of time we blame God. Well, I don't. I've gotten past that, but I got you. Some of y'all blame God. I see it happening. God, why you do this, man? You supposed to be God, and you made this happen, and you could have stopped it. I got you, right? We go through that. We are human beings. We are not perfect. I got you. There are some things that happen in our lives, and we blame God because we know he could have stopped it, right? We blame God because we know he has the hand of power that can make things happen just like that. Matter of fact, we say twinkling of an eye, it's faster than that with God, right? I got that. But David got mad at God, watch this, for striking down somebody else. When he figured, I want them to get a car. I'm just going to throw this out there. And God said, I'm going to give them a bicycle. Watch this. Even if you get mad at God for whatever situation you find yourself in, even if you don't want to mess up your blessing because you're mad at God. You don't want to mess up and destroy your covenant with God because you are upset. Here's what David did. Watch this. In verse 8, he got mad at God, right? Verse 10, he decides to take the blessing, which is the ark of the covenant, right, of God, the agreement established between God and man back then, the covenant. He decided to take that blessing because he's mad and move it out of his house to somebody else's house. Now, I don't want this because I'm mad at God. So here, I'm going to put this ark in your house. You could have it because I'm mad at God. He's in essence having his arms folded because he's upset at God. So he caused the ark to go to somebody else's house. I like what God did too, right? Because if you look this in verse 12, y'all, it's right there. Someone come and tells David, David, do you know that the Lord has blessed Obed-Edom's house and everything he has in it? And at that moment, David's like, what you mean? That's supposed to be my blessing. No, bro, you didn't want it because you got mad at God. You were so upset at God because he didn't do what you thought he should do. You didn't trust God in his response. So by that, no, the blessings went elsewhere. You missed your blessing. David said, oh, no, I can't handle that. Watch this in verse 12. They told him somebody else getting blessed because of what you didn't do and what you did. So David decided, watch this, I got a change of heart. So I need to have that ark, that blessing transferred right back to my house because I don't know about you, but there's no way in hell that I'm going to allow a blessing that I know is mine to be given to someone else because I'm mad. I'm upset. So I'm going to hurt myself because I'm upset. Come on, somebody. It puzzles me when folk get so upset that they hurt themselves. Wait, you upset at somebody else, but you going to mess up your own blessing. I don't understand that. And David, he had a change of heart, right? Because he's like, wait a minute. You saying somebody else is blessed because I decided not to be blessed? Instead of having me blessed and them blessed, I decided that I don't want nothing to do with God because I'm mad. So I'm going to have somebody else blessed. You know, ain't nothing wrong with getting somebody else a blessing. But the problem with David in this passage is that David decided that I don't want nothing else to do with God because I'm mad. Oh, my goodness. Who in the world does that, David? But I'm talking about anybody watching. I hope not. You can't get so mad at God that you say, I ain't got nothing to do with you because I'm mad, and you're going to cause your blessing to go elsewhere. No, that ain't. I know it ain't y'all, E-Top. It's them out there that's going to watch later, your friends that don't belong to E-Top, because y'all know ain't no way you going to get mad at God and then say, I ain't got nothing else to do with you. Well, David had a change of heart, which is good, right? I love that God offers second chances. Second chances, business, yeah, third. Third chances, business, yeah, fourth. And I can keep going, right? 70 times 7, and then I can go past 490. Why? Because he's God. He's a forgiving God. And I love that God said, you know what, David, I'm going to give you another opportunity. Yeah, you got mad at me, folded your arms, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. So what did he do? Watch this. This reminds me, though, of folks who in a relationship and all of a sudden they turn around and say, you know what? I don't think we'll fit no more. You know what? I don't think we're going to make it no more. Watch this. And then they separate, right? And then God shows them the other person being blessed. God shows them how the other person is now elevated. God shows them how the other person is now balling. And then now, the other person get a text message. Hey, I see you balling. Hey, I see you doing well. Hey, I see you got your own business. Oh, hey, I see you got that raise. Oh, I see you got that promotion. You like, who is this? It's your ex. What you mean, who is it? Oh, okay, how you doing? Oh, so that's all you got for me now? Wait a minute, you the one saying I don't want nothing else to do with you. I'm mad, this ain't no fit. And it's amazing how when you could do that and then you see somebody else getting blessed, now all of a sudden you got to change your heart. You want them back. It was just me, it wasn't you. Well, you know what? You had an opportunity. But you're going to let your madness, you're going to let your anger mess up the blessing that you already have because you mad, bro. You mad, bro? Yeah, you can get mad, but the Bible say don't let the sun go down on your madness. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Watch this. I'm going to get through with this, y'all. This is real simple. In verse 14, David, I love this. The Bible say David danced. I love this. What kind of dancing was David doing, Bishop? I'm glad you asked, because I don't know. You know what? It doesn't matter what type of dancing he was doing. It doesn't matter if he was doing the Cupid shuffle. It doesn't matter if he was doing any type of stepping dance. It doesn't matter if he was even doing the nay-nay. You know what? It doesn't matter. Why? Why is that? I'm glad you asked, because the Bible says David danced. And whatever dance he was doing, I love the emphasis that the Bible, the word, places on David's dance. He said he was dancing with all his might. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He was dancing with all his might. Watch. Right? Watch this. I love that. David was dancing without. See, when you dancing with all your might, you ain't just doing it. That ain't all your might, right? When you dance with all your might, you are showing some emphasis. You are moving. Your body is moving. You are actually putting forth a major effort in giving God the praise and glory. And that's what I love about this passage, because there are folks who would dog somebody else because they see them dancing. You like, nah, hey, I got this talent because God gave it to me and I'm using it. And I'm thanking him for blessing me to do the nay. I'm thanking him for blessing me to do the Cupid. Oh, yeah, yes. Right foot, stomp. And left foot, stomp. And turn. Hey, what I'm giving God glory because he allowed me to have this opportunity to dance, right? David danced, and he danced with all of his might. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Watch this. Verse 15, they danced. The people shouted, and they played music. They danced. The people shouted, and they played music. It's in the word. They danced. The people shouted, and they played music. They danced. The people shouted. They played music. Watch this. Verse 12, someone else was blessed. Verse 13, they sacrificed. Verse 14, they danced. Verse 15, they shouted. Watch this. Verse 12, somebody else was blessed. Verse 13, they sacrificed. Verse 14, they danced. Verse 15, they shouted. I know y'all ain't getting this yet. They did all of this. Watch this. Don't miss this if you missed everything else. They did all of this shouting and dancing and sacrifice. They did all of this. And yet, I'm talking about David now, they still hadn't received what they wanted to receive yet from God. Oh my goodness. They had not yet received the ark, the blessing that they wanted. They had not yet. They saw somebody else blessing. Now, you know what? I'm going to get blessed too. So I ain't going to wait to start shouting until I get my blessing or for the blessing. I'm going to shout right now. You know what? There's no reason to wait till the battle is over. You can shout right now. Why? Because I know that the victory is mine, said the Lord. So I'm going to shout in advance of what I know God is going to do for me. I'm going to shout right now, even though I don't have what I've already asked for. I'm going to give God the glory and the honor and the praise, and I'm going to sing to him right now, even though what I've asked for ain't made it yet, but I see it's on its way. Preach, Bishop, I am. I'm trying to help somebody to understand that you can give God glory right now, dance for him right now, even though what you asked for, you don't have it yet. Oh my goodness, here it is. They danced. They shouted, gave him praise, right? And somebody need to do the same thing. You ain't got it yet, and I'm going to end you here. Here we go. Let me let you get out of here with these 4 points. Bishop, how to handle hell at home. Here it is, these 4 points. I'm going to let you go. Here it is. First, if you notice, the woman that's identified, which is David's wife, right? The Bible doesn't even say that. It puzzled me at first, right? Wait a minute. Why doesn't the Bible say David's wife looked out of their window and saw her husband dancing? Why? It don't really say David's wife, right? The Bible specifically said, no, that's Saul's daughter. You know, King Saul, the great one. That's his daughter. But that's David's wife. Yeah, but it's the king's daughter. Let me explain something here. Anytime that your wife is identified as somebody's daughter instead of your wife, they are trying to tell you that your status ain't good enough. Oh my goodness. That went over some of y'all head. Watch this. Anytime, it would puzzle me, right? If me and my wife together and we go to a place and somebody say, oh, you know, instead of they saying, you know what, that's Bishop Miles' wife. Call her Miles. That bishop, they say, you know what? That is Era Sherman's daughter. I mean, that's her daughter, right? Well, that's my wife. What are you saying about me? You see me standing right here. You trying to say that I'm less than and not equal to or greater than you, that I don't have no status? Or you looking down on who I am and what I bring to the table, that you going to introduce her as somebody's daughter and not my wife? It's telling you that they don't think that your status is high enough. I'm just putting it out there. That's another sermon. Here it is. Number 2, here it is. Women. If your husband, watch this, and this is why I brought this up, because if you are identified as somebody's daughter, you are still tied to that person as a daughter. Yeah, that's who I am. That's who I'm recognized outside with. In the house, yes, I'm his wife, but outside I'm somebody's daughter. No. If inside you my wife, outside you my wife, wherever we go, you my wife. But that's not the case. He's identified, or she's identified as Saul's daughter, and in essence, watch this, women, because you would have a problem if your husband or your man, y'all living together, y'all getting ready to get married, you're engaged or whatever, and you are actually in the household, and all of a sudden when you start to cook or say things, here come your man saying, you know what, my mama didn't do it that way. My mama didn't fix it that way. You know what, my mama added sugar to that one. My mama only added 3 tablespoons of vanilla extract. You know what? My mama made sure she cooked it for 45 minutes, not just 30. So you got to put it back in there for 15 more minutes. You know what? My mama didn't put that in there. Sooner or later, you're going to say, well, you know what? You need to go back to your mama. I had your mama cook. If you're going to be identified all the time and try to identify me as your mama, then maybe you need to go back to, that's what y'all would say. I'm telling y'all what y'all would say. You know what? So in essence, this is what Saul, he didn't say it, but I know he was thinking, why are y'all saying that's Saul's daughter? That's my wife. So even being identified like that already brought hell to the home. So I could imagine this passage that we're in right now, what was going to happen if she's identified not as David's wife, but as Saul's daughter. Here it is. Number 3, 4 points, and I'm going to let you go. If David is the king, right? Y'all know what that means, right? If David is the king, this means that his wife is the queen. It puzzled me. I have no understanding of, I can't grasp the understanding of, if you the queen, some people think they get so high up that they don't have to worship and praise God no more. Oh my goodness. That's why it puzzles me when she's giving problems and she's getting mad because her husband is down there praising God with the church and the church family and having and giving God all the glory with the church family, because the blessings of the Lord is coming back to the community, to the house, and yet she's looking down out the window saying, getting mad at her husband, getting angry at her husband, bringing hell to their house because he's giving God praise. Oh my God, that's a lot of hell right there, right? She's bringing hell into the household because her husband is giving God praise. Oh my goodness. Here it is. It puzzles me, right? Because if you're a queen, you should be right there giving God the glory because he's elevated you to a certain level. And I don't know, I can't remember the name of the person who sung the song, but y'all know it, those of you who are song artists and know our song. Somebody said that no matter how high I get, I'll still be looking up to you. Yeah, that's what the queen needs to understand. Yeah, you at the queen level now. God elevated you to that level now. Hey, no matter how high you get, you're still looking up to God, right? Because he has all power. He's looking down on you. And just like he promoted you to the queen level, he can demote you back down to where you were. Preach, Bishop. Let me get out of here. The 4th thing and last thing. Sometimes hell remains in homes because folks are unequally yoked. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, here it is. Hell remains at home because folks are unequally yoked. What you mean, Bishop? Here it is. Let me explain it like this. Because it's easy, right? You can either say, you know what? You got one person who loves God, worship God, have accepted God, Christ into their life, and they give God glory. They seed, tithe, offering, everything. They're doing the will of God. Not perfect, but they do what they can when they can, and it's all about God. And the other person who they are supposed to be entangled with is the opposite. They worship the devil. It's all about the devil. They don't believe in God. But this person don't want to lead the person. Why? Because he cute, he handsome, he got a good job, he provides for me. And you know what God is saying? No, you getting it mixed up. I'm the provider. Everything that he has and he's doing, I'm allowing it. Even though he worships the devil, I call it to rain on the just as well as the unjust. So it ain't about him. And there were times when if you keep trusting God, when hell is in your home, you keep doing what you're doing, one or two things gonna happen. God gonna get rid of the hell. Come on, somebody. Or he gonna change the hell into a positive situation. But you got to keep doing what you're doing. If you unequally yoked, sometimes that's where the hell come from. Here it is. The other day, I had to, jump my car, right? But I was reading a story about a person who, it was dark, and he was pulled on side the road, and they ain't had no flashlight or nothing, right? So he got the cables, and somebody came by. He said, you know what? And it's cold, right? He said, can I give me a jump? He said, well, you got cables? He said, yeah. He said, well, you go ahead. I'm going to stay in my car, but I'll let you use my battery, but it's too cold. He said, I don't mind. So he's underneath the hood, right? And he putting the things together. He said, okay. He said, all right, can you give it some gas? So the person that stopped to help him gave the gas. So he go and he turns the ignition. It said, pow! He said, oh! So they both got out the car then, right? But he said, what are you doing? What happened? He said, I don't know. I put the cables together, and then the man who would stop to help them, he said, oh, man, he put out his flashlight. He said, oh, man, you know what you did? He said, you put the positive cable to the negative, and you put the negative cable to the positive. Watch this. He said, and every time you put that together like that, it's going to blow up in your face. Oh my God. He said, well, see, you got to have a positive to a positive, and you got to put the negative to the negative. And when you do that, it's going to crank up. It's going to work like it's supposed to work. But you messed up. He said, well, it was dark. He said, oh, absolutely. Because anytime you're in dark places, it's because you got the negative hooked up to the positive and the positive hooked up to the negative, and it's going to keep blowing up. And all I'm trying to do is tell somebody that sometimes hell is in your house because you got a positive, preach Jesus, and you got a negative, the enemy, the devil, the Satan, the accuser of the brethren. And if you think that that's going to work, it's going to blow up in your face. Oh my goodness. Let me close with this. Bishop, how do I handle hell in my home? Here it is. I just preached this two Sundays ago. You got to love the hell out of them. Yeah. You got to love the hell out of them. Love the hell out of them, Bishop. How do I do that? I just preached this. Y'all go to check that sermon. You got to love the hell out of folk. And you can do it, right? But how do I do it? Here it is. Just follow the word. Do what David did. Here it is. David called, watch this, a spade a spade. You can't sugarcoat it. You got to call it out like it is. I talk to the devil like that all the time. Devil, it ain't going to work. You ain't going to do it. I know what you're trying to do. It ain't going to, you call it out. You got to call a spade, right? David, watch this, kept giving God praise. Even though she got mad. She looking out the window. She mad. That's his wife. She's identified as Saul's daughter instead of his wife. He ain't worried about that. He's like, you know what? Hell is in my home. But it's my job to continue to give God praise. Am I mad because hell is here? Yes. Am I disgruntled? Yes. Am I upset? Yes. But I'm not going to let my madness stop me from receiving my blessing. I'm going to continue to give God praise. Help him, David. David kept dancing before the Lord. He kept getting his praise on. And David said, watch this in verse 22. David said, you know what? If you think I'm going to let you stop me from giving God praise, watch this. Because you bringing up the women who I was dancing with at the church. We giving God praise together. You act like I was bending them over, and you act like I was caressing them. I'm dancing and giving God praise. They just happen to be at the church. You know, it's a lot of women at the church, honey. But that's what hell does, right? Hell, you giving God praise, but hell start to bring up stuff that ain't even there. It ain't even existent. Hell start to bring up stuff that don't even exist, right? His wife, who's identified as Saul's daughter, is bringing up stuff that David is doing and he's not doing. Why? Because that's what hell does. When you got positive, negative, positive, that's what hell does. It makes up things. It sees things that ain't even there. And David said, you think I'm going to let you stop me from giving God praise because you saying there's women dancing and giving God praise too? And you want to just be all men dancing? Well, you got another thing coming. I'm going to keep giving God praise. hell in the home, but David said, I'm still going to give God glory. That's how you handled it, y'all. Y'all know y'all got different types of hell in your home right now, but to handle the hell, just keep giving God glory. Just keep giving God praise. Just lift them up. As a matter of fact, sometimes the hells get so hellish, you just say, glory. I give you honor, glory. That's our God. I'm just thanking you. And sometimes the hell like, man, just look at you like, I'm giving you so much hell and you still able to lift your hands. I'm giving you so much hell and you still able to sing song. I'm giving you so much hell and you ain't letting it wreck your nerve now, because I'm going to love the hell out of you until God change my situation. You know what? Vengeance is mine. I will repay, said the Lord. I don't have to get you. God going to get you. You keep doing what you're doing to me. God going to get you. You keep saying what you're saying to me. God going to get you. That's how you handle hell in the house. Last thing, I promise you, here it is. I was reminded, thank you, Holy Ghost, of this flashlight. Y'all can look it up, right? It's called Shake and Shine. Flashlight called Shake and Shine, right? And man, I wish I think I had one before. My wife probably took it out my drawer. But it's Shake and Shine, right? And it's crazy how it gets power from being shook. Watch this. It gets power from being shook. It's amazing how, and it's called Shake and Shine, so it makes sense, right? So you shake it and you turn it on, it shines. Watch this. If you don't shake it and you try to turn it on, it's dim. But you shake it, it shines. Watch this. And the more you shake it, the more it shines. Watch this. I love this, right? Because the advertisement say, you know what? It's so good that if you drop it, it still shines. If you kick it, it still shines. If you put it in water, watch this, and try to drown it, it's going to even shine in water. Watch this. Even, watch this, if you leave it alone, it say the light is dim. Well, so what I'm trying to say is, when you get in situations and predicaments that seem to be so hard and too much to bear, just remember that sometimes God is just shaking you because he wants you to shine. He wants you to shine through the hardship. He wants you to shine through the difficulty. He wants you to shine through what's in your home. And if hell is in the home, you just getting shook. Why? Because he wants you to shine. He's shaking you, and the more he shakes you, the more he wants you to shine. Hell ain't got no chance in a home when God is shining. That God will continue to bless and keep you is my prayer. Don't forget to seed, tithes, and offering. Until next time, may God be with you. Shake and shine. Yes, that's how to handle hell at home. That's how you handle it.